And now in Freeform, I will just import a model who will be my lower jaw. It's in my diagram to print software. Import. I will just remove the mouse. Good. This is my diagram to print geometry. I will import it as a mesh to not change my main primary object. Apply. Here it is. This is my jaw. To work with it, I will convert this mesh object into a clay object. I will choose the level of details. I will choose for a nice one. Custom, let's say 0.2 to start. It will be enough for the demonstration. And apply. I will now have in Freeform two objects. My mesh one, who is the master object, and my jaw, who will be my working object. Here it is. Let's say we will have to cut the jaw between, I think, 6 and 7 here. The first thing to do will be to choose the cutting direction. I think the surgeon will make that, but it should look something like this. What I will do is creating a plane and ask Freeform to align the plane in parallel to my view. As you can see, it's not bad at all. And now I will work and draw in my plane the cutting guide. I will sketch on it, have a zoom. To be sure I will follow the teeth canal, I will ask for transparency on my object. Keyboard shortcut is D for transparency. Here it is. I need to cut here. I will zoom in and just create a line will represent my cutting guide. Yes, I can move it a little if needed, but it's not so bad. Okay, now I will remove the transparency because I need to add this contour to be sure my cutting guide will not be on those parts. I will now draw one curve on the bottom of the mandible just to give me the limit. Same thing on the top of it. I don't need to go more than this. And I think I will have to avoid this area. I will just draw one here to close my line. S to select. I can change the continuity in the direction. And if I go there, you see the other line became in green. It means I'm in a perfect continuity here. Let's make the same there. Good. Now I need to have a thickness here for the final cutting guide to be strong enough. I think 5 millimeter, maybe 6 millimeters is the good value. Maybe too big. Control Z. Let's ask for an offset of 5 millimeters. Can be good. I will now draw a line from here to here because I need to be a little bigger than the, oh, even like this to be big. And a line from, let's say, here to here. Now I will remove just for this rectangular part everything, every unneeded area. This one, this small one, this small one. Good. It turns, oh no, Control Z. This one, this one. I will just draw a small line here because I will need this curve after. So I don't want to remove totally it. If I make this, okay, I still have my curve. Okay, the area is blue. it means it's a closed area. I will be able to work with it. But I will have some sharp edges there who are not well asked for that. So I will just ask Freeform for some round corners, radius 2 millimeters, one here between this and this, one between this and this, this and this. Perfect. I will now use my extrusion tool to say, okay, let me take this profile. Next. I don't want to go on the opposite side. I just need to go somewhere, let's say, somewhere here, a little more. And here I will go in contact with my object. I know I have 7. I need at least 5 millimeters. Okay, I can ask for 12. No. 12. Good. Perfect. Now I will ask Freeform to create a new object here, but not combined to this. I will create a new object based on the same clay coarseness and extrude. This is my new object. This is the cutting guide part. I will just rename it as cutting guide. This is the part where the saw will be placed to follow the line. I will go back to sketch on it to create the main support on it, to put the screw on it and be fixed on my jaw. Let's sketch on. I need again to have a closed profile. I will just draw a small line from here to here, and here I will just adjust this. It's blue. My profile here is blue. I will use it now to ask Freeform to create an offset on the bone with a constant thickness. For that, I will first activate my bone and I will duplicate all the parts I need. To make this, because I'm working with clay, there is no surface, no polygons, no curves. It's digital clay. I can just create a window and say, okay, let me choose all this area. And because it's a 3D windows, I will select everything into this window. And now a simple copy. It's copying all the green area and passed as a new piece. It means when I will hide this one, I will work only with this part. It's enough for me. I will now ask Freeform not to extrude like we made the first time, but to emboss by projecting this profile, the inside of the profile, on this object with a constant, let's say 2.5 millimeters thickness. I will be normal on the plane, no fall off angles, and let's say arise from it. Here it is. It's very rough, but it can be good. I think we will smooth it after. Perfect. Now to just keep this off. No, it's too rough. I will cut it. I can use the same, exactly, the same curve. Next, to say, okay, I will not create a new object. I will just remove everything with outside of my curve. Good. If I call back my jaw, we see that we have exactly the good profile. I will now combine this one with this one. Select my piece, make a Boolean operation, combine into my cutting guide. I have only one object. I will now make some smoothing on it. I can hide the plane. I don't need it. Take a big tool, nice smoothing level, and say, okay, I will smooth there my area to not have something too bumpy, to not have sharp edges here. Good. The other option to me is it will be more easy and more fast. Always forgetting it. Up to select, to paint all this area in one time. Okay, apply a transition between what will be smoothed and not. Just a boost, a big smooth level, and okay, smooth it. Perfect. It became more smooth. Two things to do now. First, to remove the undercuts here, because it will be impossible to me to put this part in place because of the undercuts. Two options. The first one is the easiest one. The surgeon will use this direction to put the cutting guide in place. So the undercuts may fit with this direction. The other option is the surgeon will choose another direction, who can be this one, to put it in place. If it's the case, I will just create a new plane, this one, align it with the view. I will just rename it. It will be the pull direction. Perfect. Now I will make exactly what I've done the first time. I will activate this part. I will again select, oops, I need to select it in front of the object. Select all of this part, turn the view to choose the depth of my selection. Good. Copy and paste as new object. Of course, it would be possible to make it in one time the first time, but I wanted to show you the two steps to make it. Now I will move the plane back to my part. Let's show the cutting guide again. Here I can see it's impossible to put it in place. I will now ask Freeform to extrude this object on this plane. Apply. Freeform is now creating the clay perpendicular to this plane, so exactly following the pulling direction. And now if I ask Freeform to say this object, Boolean, will remove clay from my cutting guide, okay, and hide this object, I will see that it became possible, of course, to put and remove my cutting guide. The last step is to create the screw hole locations. We have a tool into Freeform for that, who is the axis markers. Axis markers allows me to choose a screw diameter and a clearance. A clearance is the security zone around my hole. I can say, okay, I don't need to have something inside 3 millimeter around my screw to be sure the piece will be strong enough. If I create, I will activate haptic bump. If I create a new one here, I will see that here I can put it there. To be sure, I will have 3 millimeters around. If I want to put a third one, by example here, and I'm trying to go close to the first one, I can feel I have a bump limit. I can't go inside the securities area. I will put it there and move it this one. As you can see, the direction of each screw is exactly perpendicular to the surface. I have my 3 screw locations. To make the holes in it, I will first reduce the clay coarseness of this one to have a little more definition on it, to have more sharp edges. Okay, and it's smoothed all the area around. I will just ask Freeform to extend my vector direction here on the back of the object, just to make me able to use the simple pipe function. We asked for 2.5 millimeter screw diameter. I just have to select my lines to see Freeform creating, I will hide the jaw, the screw location, the screw cylinders. And I will ask Freeform now to simply remove those cylinders to my cutting guide. Here it is. If I hide my plane, show back my jaw, here I have my cutting guide. And if I hide the jaw again, I will see that the geometry, the back geometry of the cutting guide is exactly based on my jaw geometry. It will perfectly fit in place when I will implant it. I can now ask for file and directly export model as an STL or an OBJ file to immediately print it. STL, OBJ, ZPR, PLY. I have all the classical regular STL file object to print it. Okay, I would like to thank you for your attention. And this is the end of this full demonstration D2P and Freeform. Again, thank you for your attention. Bye bye.